Hello, my beautiful friends. How are you? How are you doing? How are you living? I hope that you are thriving and vibing. Let's get into this reading. I'm so happy and excited to be here. Y'all, I'm like bubbling with joy right now that I get to be here with a bunch of things finally off my plate. And I'm just happy. I'm just so happy. I've been grinding it out for the last few weeks, working towards a couple things in particular. And now there's a couple things off my plate. Not everything off my plate, but a couple of things that I no longer have to think about. So I'm here to think about you. Universe, please, inside information. What does this beautiful collective need to bring to their focus at the moment? What themes? What's going on for them that you would like to have a yap about today? Okay, 7 of Wands. This came up in the last reading. I remember I was there. Page of Wands, King of Cups. Okay. There was something I was going to do for a reading. I was going to be like, can we please not have any lingering energies? Can we just talk about the collective? But I didn't. So we have this King of Cups energy coming in. This could be you. This could be someone you're connecting to. Can I get a confirmation? Is the King of Cups someone that is that my collective? Is this my collective? Okay, we're going to find out. All right. Let's get some confirmation cards from the deck. Oh no. This is not my collective. This is people around you, my darling. Okay, let's get in. Let's get crazy and comfortable with it. We've had so much Wands energy coming in through for you for like a hot second, for a while. But what I see is there's this transformation going on. Whoever is inhabiting this very Wands energy around you, it seems like they're doing a lot of internal work. Is someone in therapy? Moving towards emotional regulation and stability and like understanding and emotional intimacy, as well as like financial stability. Someone is putting in the work on themselves. Really, really, really putting in the work on themselves. All right. Well, that's good to know. I think it took them a while to get there. But someone in your energy, or someone who will be in your energy or taking up a bit of time in your day, is seriously putting in the work. Why? What's this for? What's the goal here? It's you. It's coming towards you. And I thought it would be. I just wanted to check. I didn't want to be like, they're working so hard to be able to come to you as a full and like whole, I want to say entity, but like the word that comes up, like they want to be an option. Someone wants to like be an option for you. And they feel like what they're currently giving is just like, they're just like another person in line, another person vying for a bit of attention, a bit of time in your day, that maybe there's nothing spectacular standing out about them that makes you be like, oh, I pick you. You're the one that I pick. And they see you as this high priestess. They know that like they can't fake the work. They cannot fake being emotionally in touch and healed. They can't fake financial stability and achievement and career success. They can't fake this because you see through everything. As I tap into this, it's like you see through everything. You know so much. It's like you've got this weird mystical power to just see through all of their BS. They know that you're going to know if it's authentic or not. I think it's because you show up with such authenticity. You have such a radar for BS. How else do they see you? The Hierophant. Knight of Swords. All right. They see you very much as a leader, authority type. High Priestess and the Hierophant, yeah. Wifey material potentially as well. But But you are also someone who is not afraid to make quick decisions, not afraid to communicate, and not Freddie. Not Freddie. Who's Freddie? Y'all, who's Freddie? Is there a Freddie in your world? Anyways, not afraid was what I was trying to say. Not afraid to walk away if that's what you need to do. I think they've seen that. They've seen you walk away from places and from people. And every time you've done it, you've evolved again and again and again. So they can see that you have a connection, you have this process that starts with you moving away from an environment and ends with you growing and evolving into this like bigger, better, badder version of you. So they know that like no matter where you go, what you do, you're just going to keep evolving. And that just reinforces this thing that like you aren't afraid of being alone. You aren't afraid of losing someone because they've seen it time and time again. You just gain more and more of yourself every single time. Every time you lose someone, it's just like you actually move more and more into alignment. So I feel like there's this like mental process going that's like, oh, you, collective. Collective is not afraid to lose me. They're going to be fine without me. And I feel like there may have been a point where they like resign themselves to that, but I don't think that they're okay with you losing them. I don't think that they're okay with it. And I don't think that they want to, I think they've come around to this idea of like they don't want to settle for someone that isn't going to be okay without them. Like that's the alternative. And they're like, wait, that's not what I want either. Of course I want to be with someone who's so strong that they don't like need me, but I still want to be of service to them and I still want to help them. They don't have to need me, but I can still have purpose in their life and I want to have purpose in their life. And what's the alternative? Being with someone that just needs me, constantly needs me? I don't think that person as well. I think that they're like, wait, hold on. I'm like ready to let go of this person that like doesn't need me, but I also don't want someone that like is dependent on me, because they don't want to be in like a codependent relationship either. I think it's taken them a while to get there, to be like, wait, hold on. What I want is someone that doesn't need me. I want someone who's that like strong and independent and is always going to be fine doing their own thing. Not that they want to leave you alone to do that own thing, but like, I think there's a lot of pieces that are just like now clicking, that they're like, oh, hold on. What is it that I'm looking for in a person? It's someone who is like independent and honest and is a leader in their own right, because I feel like they don't want to be leading someone else around. But it's taken them a while to get there, to realize that. I think they've been very, very intimidated by how strong you are. But then they've, maybe with space and with distance and a lot of internal work and potentially therapy, they've realized that like, oh wait, whether it's you or not, they want someone who is strong and honest and upfront and can communicate really clearly and has emotional depth, but also like, yeah, at the end of the day is going to be fine without them. They want to be with someone who is quite independent. I feel like they have a lot of independence as well. Why is this coming up? This specific idea of independence and strength is really, really strong. And it's like, yeah, I'm deep in a download right now. I realize I'm not pulling cards. It's like they don't, it's definitely something that they've known about you because they've seen it play out in action. But because you've never articulated yourself that way and it's never been like deep in the conversations that you've had with each other, the fact that you are so strong and are so independent, I think they've kind of had a warped perspective of like who you are and what you want. This might have been someone that you talk to about your feelings, you know? And sometimes when you talk to someone about your feelings a lot, whether that's just like a processing thing or a venting thing, or like you're a Pisces like me and you like talking about feelings, people can get the impression that like, because you're emotional, that you're like very needy, or that you're very dependent on other people for regulation. But really, you could just be someone who vibes an internal exploration, you know, like that's just like fun for you to be like, oh, why do I respond like this? And you just really love processing things and understanding yourself and like evolving through that. But if, say, this person is a friend or someone that you've been seeing romantically and you talk to them a lot about your emotions and your feelings, then their impression of you could be that like you are very emotional, potentially getting this idea of you being like very vulnerable. And in ways they may associate that with like a weakness. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's true. It just means that you can be an absolute baddie, boss bitch, and also love talking about feelings. And I think that they are starting to put those pieces together. Like the version of you that they receive versus everything else that you do outside of the conversations that you have had with them. And they're starting to have a much more round perspective of like who you are in a way that I feel like they haven't before. It's like they're kind of getting like a bird's eye view of your life. Why? Why are they thinking about it so deeply? Justice. Page of Pentacles. The Empress. Yo. They can see how they have been. 7 of Cups. I feel like this person was very, very invested in the parts of you that they saw. And so it was very, very difficult for them to actually see the whole picture of you. And I think that they were very kind of caught up in maybe memories with you, and that's kind of like how they perceived you to be as a whole, just how you were with them, which is like totally understandable. For example, like I have to catch myself sometimes when I think about, say, my students, right? I have so many students that tell me that they're like super awkward or like very introverted, and they just get really nervous in public speaking or social interactions, or they don't really know how to make new friends, or they don't know how to do this, or they just don't feel, you know, they say that they're super awkward and introverted in these different situations, which to me is like absolutely wild, because right in front of me, they're super outgoing and like funny, and like there's so much banter, and they're so loud, you know, like, so it's wild for me to think about them being outside of being around me, right? And like not inhabiting that energy. But the only contact I have with them is when they're with me. So maybe they just feel safe with me, and it's a one-on-one interaction, so they can be loud, and they've known me for a while, so they feel really comfortable. And yeah, maybe in different environments they are different. I think there's something similar happening here, but to an even larger extent, because maybe this was someone that you were very like emotional with and had a lot of emotional intimacy with, and maybe you didn't see each other in many social and like situations, and they didn't see versions of you that were much more career driven. And I think that they're kind of taking a step back and being like, oh, this person, you contain multitudes. And just because they were blessed enough to get to hear about your internal world doesn't mean that that's all that's going on within you. And they're seeing that now. That seems to be a really, really big thing. And that we asked, why? Why is this person working so hard to want to come towards you? It's because it seems like the more distance they have from you, the more they realize that the part of you that they knew was actually so small compared to the multitudes that you contain. And there's this theme of like, there was almost, the more they see of you, the more they're like, oh, this was what I was painting them as, and the view that I saw them through was so narrow and it's so unfair. I feel like part of them feels really stupid that they didn't see these other things about you. They could like logic it out, you know? Like, I think that they understood to some degree, like, that you worked quite hard or that you excelled in these different areas of your life. But I think they probably heard more about your struggles than the ways that you were excelling. Because they were the person for you that you got to be a little bit more real with. Yeah. So it feels like all of your achievements were kind of dwarfed by how much you were like quote unquote struggling. But in reality, all of your achievements and all your success really speak for itself. And they're realizing that like, oh, the reason why they were so privileged to hear about all of this really, really deep stuff with you was because you felt safe enough with them to disclose all of that. But they kind of saw you as kind of like this one-dimensional thing and not multi-dimensional in the way that you exist. But almost like, it's like they knew, but they almost didn't want to like accept it or like fully comprehend it. And I feel like the more work they kind of do, the more they're coming to terms with that. And then the more they're feeling like actual pain about the way that they mishandled you, mistreated you, and just saw you through such a narrow lens. And it's like they subconsciously fought against thinking that way, like widening how they saw you, because they knew on some level that if they saw you in your like full power, they would have to admit that they fumbled you, they were not seeing you. It's like their subconscious chose not to see you in your entirety. It's because their psyche or their heart just couldn't handle it. It's weird. I think there has been this passing feeling of regret that they have been holding, but I think that the way that they're coping with it is by putting in work. Let's get some more cards. It's Empress energy though. Empress and the High Priestess. Y'all. You know, those are my boos. You know, there's my gals. All right, let's see. What else? What else about this energy? I reckon I can probably get 444. Oh my God, it's 444. I reckon I could probably do a second reading after this. And then we're going to have a backlog and I'm not going to miss a day ever. No, I might sometimes. All right, universe, please insight and information. What else do you want us to know about this energy? Is there anything else that we need to know? We have the Four of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, King of Wands. What I hear is like, I'm going to come. And when I'm, I'm just going to keep it to myself right now, and then I'm going to come for you. And when I do, I'm going to come correct. They just hope that you haven't like completely given up on them by the time that happens. Because they just want to make you happy. Sorry, I'm like splitting the deck and I'm seeing cards. I think they're not expecting you to wait by any stretch of the imagination. There's no expectation on you at all. But it's like, what's the worst that could happen if they just work on themselves for the chance that maybe you cross paths again and the time is right and everything aligns and they can meet you as an equal in a way that you deserve, ready to like start again. What's the worst that can happen? They grow and evolve and they heal and they end up with someone else. That's, you know, that's fine. That's a positive outcome as well. Like, I think they're using this as a motivation to build and improve. I think you give them that. And I think they've needed that. They've needed something or someone to like work towards and like fight for. How are you doing with all this? Is there anything that your energy is subconsciously feeling about this? We have the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. Divine pair, much? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh, you're just working on you. You're just working on you, throwing yourself a little parade about how great you are and like what you're doing and just working on you and like focusing in on you. And for that, I love. You keep doing that. It's wild because low-key, 2222 on the thing. Lowest of keys. Like, I have been hearing this for like maybe the last month, I want to say 3 weeks last month. I think it's stopped now because I was like, okay, you need to stop. This is not something that I can be hearing in my head. I just think it's not good. But in the same way that I was getting downloads, I was hearing this voice that's like, I'm coming for you. I am coming for you. Like, just wait. Like, okay. Sure you are. Ace of Swords, bottom of the deck. Let's get into some oracles. Let's see. Isn't it weird? Oh my gosh, such a love reading. Such a love reading. Okay, we have, there is a reason you have those dreams, the mystic, intuition, high priestess, visionary. Maybe there is someone whose future version of them is not just giving themselves like the past self messages, but like sending you messages, putting energy around you. Isn't that wild? Like, I was thinking that, like, if I can give messages to my past self and to my future self, can other people's past and future selves give messages to me? I know I've definitely sent my energy back to like the inner child of like certain people, because I feel like maybe they were lonely, and in the same way that I want to give my inner child like support, I want to give their inner child support as well. So I've done that, but I'm like, is that just nice woo-woo energy, or is that real? Like, how I give it to myself is real. And do other people do that? Do other people think like that? Anyways, the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. I might just keep that card here for the next reading because I feel like you're going through some big things, my beautiful collective. I think you're going through some massive things, and it keeps coming right at the end of a reading. It's like, but I feel like this energy is like, it's just acknowledging there's this shift happening, but like nothing more than that. It's just this like, hold on tight, babe. So much is gonna come for you. So much, it's like you're jumping timelines or something. Like, there's so much changing. Your path is changing, your future is changing, but like no other information is given. It's always given right at the end. It's like, this is happening, but nothing else, because no spoilers, no spoilers. And I'm not about to spoil the end for you. No. Knowing the future means changing the future. So I love to see that your guides are just like, look out, babe. Just get ready. All right. I'm going to film another reading. And then I'm going to make music, which I haven't done in a hot second. Like, properly record some stuff, because I've been doing so much work. And now I get to do fun things again. I'm excited. Anyways, I'll see you in the next reading. I love you. Bye.